she went from being a police officer to an adult actress and a pro wrestler. Oh yeah, this is one story that must be told, so be sure to stick around. But be aware, this probably isn't one for the faint of heart. In this video, we're going to talk about Chanyota. I don't have any data to back this up, but I'm pretty sure the adult industry of Japan is quite popular worldwide. Something else that's internationally recognized, but maybe not as popular, is Japanese pro wrestling. Now, except for some rare cases, you wouldn't usually find any real connection between these two worlds. But in this video, we're going to talk about someone who not only was involved with both, but has a background in law enforcement too. Meet Chanyota, a YouTuber and pro wrestler with a rather adventurous past, with at one point doing YouTube, pro wrestling, and adult videos all within the same period. Sounds like a ticket straight to Burnout City. What's more interesting though is that she used to be a police officer, but we'll get more into this a little later. Chanyota has been very open and honest about her story, something very telling of her character. It's also earned her a lot of fans, and that includes fans that would show up both to adult related and pro wrestling related events just to see her. However, Chanyota's story is also one with a lot of pain. Chanyota was born in Tokyo, but her family is from the prefecture of Niigata, although on her adult profile it actually says Kanagawa. Saying she was from Kanagawa was just a way to protect her identity, but she got kind of tired of trying to hide it, especially when fans would constantly ask her which part of Kanagawa she was from. Chanyota was in Tokyo for around her first couple of years in elementary school, but thanks to her parents divorcing, ended up going to live in Niigata with her mum, her mum's parents, and her older brother. She explains that her father would often not come back home and had some serious issues with alcohol. She doesn't know the exact reason why her parents divorced, but I'm going to assume this might have something to do with it. Also, turns out that Chanyota was pretty damn smart. Being very strong in science and math, for high school she managed to get into the National Institute of Technology, or Kosen, which offers 5-year courses, and apparently there aren't that many women who have gotten in, at least around that time. Future-wise, Chanyota was looking to be involved with chemical manufacturing or to be a researcher. That sounds pretty cool, and a far cry from the path she actually took. So, what exactly changed? Well, around the time she was job hunting, Chanyota worked at a convenience store, aka Konbini, and unfortunately one of the Konbini's regular customers turned out to be not very normal. At first, he seemed like a very nice guy and would often give Chanyota one of the items he bought. He seemed to be in his 60s or 70s, so Chanyota thought that he was just treating her like she was his grandchild or something. Whenever she was working, he would show up. Nothing seemed weird until one day the man said that he needed to move far away. Saying that he would feel lonely, he handed Chanyota his phone number, and Chanyota ended up calling him. She understands how big of a mistake that was now, but at the time she received a lot of things from him and so forth, so Chanyota felt that she just couldn't refuse his number. Things went pretty south from there. He would call her up to 100 times per day. Chanyota, of course, got scared and ended up blocking him, which caused him to constantly show up at the konbini. When he did, Chanyota would hide, which then caused him to shout for her to come out. Essentially, he became Chanyota's stalker. One time, her stalker, while really drunk, managed to grab Chanyota's arm while she was heading to her car and was seemingly trying to take her to his place, which was close to the konbini. Having had enough, Chanyota went to the police and got a restraining order on him, which luckily seemed to have scared him off. This experience is basically what led Chanyota of thinking about joining the police force. If she became a police officer, she could catch bad guys like her stalker, but not only that, she believed it would make her stronger too. So Chanyota went to the police academy and in the end managed to become a police officer. But it turned out to be a little different from what she imagined. What she ended up finding out was the police weren't exactly liked by the public. Chanyota was once even called by a stranger a waste of taxes. She also felt that she wasn't good at the job, making simple mistakes here and there. Chanyota was starting to lose sleep, starting to hate going to work. It was at that time that tragedy would strike. One of her colleagues would end up taking their own life with a gun. The reason, unknown. She wasn't particularly close to them, but apparently they were a really good officer, which led to Chanyota losing confidence in herself, wondering what would happen to her. her insomnia got worse, to the point where she was just not sleeping at all. Chanyota went to see a psychiatrist who prescribed her some medicine, but one day she reached her breaking point. At around 3 a.m, she was in tears and felt that she just couldn't go to work. She decided to call her mother, who told Chanyota that it was okay if she didn't want to go. She took a leave of absence for around 2 months, but eventually decided to quit. During her break, Chanyota's symptoms greatly improved. Work stress sucks, that's for sure. During her time as a police officer, Chanyota saw a lot of dead bodies, and it really made her understand that we really don't know when we're going to die. So she decided to do what she really wanted to do. During her time training at the academy, Chanyota got into working out and decided that she wanted to be a personal trainer. While studying for a qualification, she started a part-time job at a private gym. This was around 2019 to 2020, when yes, the pandemic hit, which, as a lot of us know, caused a lot of gyms to close their doors. Having lost her part-time job, Chanyota started to think about specifically who she wanted to target for her personal training. Thinking about what kind of people need to show their bodies, the adult industry popped up in her mind. This actually wasn't completely random. Chanyota actually had a friend who was a sex worker, and after hearing her experiences, thought that probably those in this kind of work would need personal trainers. But that wasn't all. This might be surprising, but from her Kosen days, Chanyota was actually a fan of Sakura Mana. You can look up who she is yourself. Sakura Mana happened to be a former Kosen student and debuted around the time Chanyota was going to Kosen herself, so everyone there was talking about her. After seeing and even handling body parts of the deceased, Chanyota also had no resistance to the idea of showing herself on camera, so eventually came to the idea of starring in a video herself. So she searched online, found an agency and applied. Oh, and interestingly, for her interview, Chanyota did a presentation using slides. I guess that works, and in fact, she did pass. I guess those years at Kosen really came through for her. Chanyota was already doing YouTube around this time, which apparently relates to the direction of her first adult video. Although she says she usually keeps her comments off because she was scared of hate comments. So from here, how exactly did she get into pro wrestling? Well, at the gym she was going to, she apparently got scouted by a pro wrestling organizer who invited her to come to a training session. Chanyota was actually a black belt in judo thanks to her time in the police force, so she knew how to take ukemi, but wasn't exactly used to being dropped from so high, and unfortunately even once suffered a concussion during pro wrestling practice. So she would end up joining the pro wrestling organization, but an adult actress also doing pro wrestling wasn't something news outlets were going to be quiet about. A pro wrestler going to the adult world is something that has apparently happened before, but not the other way around, at least in Japan. Although some liked that Chanyota was doing something different, she did receive hate comments too, with some saying that they didn't want an adult actress to step into the ring. But that certainly didn't stop her. Chanyota would retire from the adult industry in September 2024, saying that she wanted to concentrate on pro wrestling and her training. Chanyota has been through some real ups and downs, but she's definitely living life her way, that's for sure. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. A bit of a risque one this time. I hope YouTube doesn't freak out about it, but I gotta say, Chanyota is pretty damn tough. It's amazing how many different things she was doing at the same time. I'll leave a link to Chanyota's channel in the usual place. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below, along with any suggestions for future videos. Appreciate the support, guys. All the best. Take care. Peace.